Hello, Washington Drive families. Whether you are learning from home or you are joining us in school this year, welcome back. We are so excited for you to meet our teachers through our virtual Meet the Teacher Night. Our special area teachers, you can access their videos through a link on our Washington Drive website, and our teachers, you can go right to their Google Classrooms. Any questions that you have that aren't addressed during this Meet the Teacher Night, our doors are always open. Please feel free to give us a call, schedule an appointment, come on in. We have a lot of exciting things planned this year. Even though this year looks different, feels different, we're going to try to keep it as normal as possible. We are invested in making this year the best that it can be. So Washington Drive, welcome back, and we can do hard things. We are ready to do it together. Thank you, everybody.
Hello, Washington Drive families. My name is Carrie Nera. I'm the assistant principal. Welcome to our new kindergarten families, and welcome back to our families of first and second graders. We all know this year looks a little different. One big difference is some children will be working from home, and the children who are working from school may need to work at home at some point due to COVID. That being the case, we wanted to share with you some online etiquette that will help your child be most successful when they are working from home. The most important thing to remember is we want to recreate a school situation at home. That means getting dressed, having a nice quiet work area, having your materials ready, and having your breakfast before you log on. Once you join your class, it's very important that your student remembers to keep their microphone muted so that the classroom isn't hearing background noise from the house, and unmutes when they're ready to speak. It takes a little practice, but we're all getting used to it. Another important tip would be to have your child seated in an area that works well for them, and seated so that their feet are touching the floor, or if they're seated on something that helps them because they need movement. Some children like to be able to wobble while they're learning. So you might want to experiment and figure out what works best for your child so that they're able to attend and focus on the lessons that are taking place. Parents, if you could please save your questions for the teacher for after the lessons take place. You can send them an email, but we're going to try to let the teachers guide the class as if it were an in-person class, and they will be happy to communicate with you after class and answer any questions that you may have. Children that have questions when they're learning remotely will raise their hands. The teacher will watch for them on the screen and will call on them to unmute themselves. This is a different year, but we have a new saying at Washington Drive, and that is that we can do hard things. We are doing them every day. We're making things a little better every day, and we're just so happy that we can all be together again this year in one format or another. It's good to be together. Welcome back.
Hi, this is Mrs. Callie. I'm the principal secretary here at Washington Drive. Have a great day.
Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Nancy Lenardos and I'm one of the secretaries in the main office. Have a great year.
Hi, this is Mrs. Molman. I'm the attendance secretary here at Washington Drive.
Hi everybody, I'm Miss Marianne. I'm so glad to have you back.
Hi, this is Mr. Bill with Miss Marianne and Mr. Greg. We can't wait to see you and get you in a wonderful environment where you can learn every day.
Hi, it's Mr. Greg. I'm the front security guard. I work with Marianne and Mr. Bill. Welcome back. We're here to keep you safe and enjoy your year.
Hi, this is Donna Riddell. I work at Washington Drive at the greeters desk. I wish everybody a happy and healthy school year.
Hi, I'm Patty Haddock, the school nurse at Washington Drive Primary School. I'd like to welcome you to the district, and we're so happy that your students are here. If you have any questions or concerns, don't feel funny about reaching out to me at any point. by phone or by email. All right, see you soon.
Hi, this is Teresa Gallo from the nurse's office at Washington Drive. Welcome, everybody.
Hello, Washington Drive parents, grown-ups, caregivers. We just wanted to introduce ourselves. I am Lauren Gallagher, the school psychologist here at Washington Drive, also known as Dr. G. And I have here with me.
Good morning. Hi, everybody. My name is Anna Zaharia. I'm the social worker and the homeless liaison for the district.
We just wanted to say a quick hello, let you know that we are here. We're working hard to support your children during these very trying and challenging times, but we are really excited about the social emotional lessons that we're doing each week that will be presented to your child, both remote learners and in-person learners, as a first level of support for all of you. So we hope you tune into those so you can help support your children at home. But anything you need, please feel free to contact us. Our emails are gallagherl@harborfieldcsd.org and
zaharia@harborfieldcsd.org. And it's also on the website if you need us. And we just want you to know we're here. You can contact us any questions or concerns regarding your children.
And we're wishing you a meaningful school year. That's the word we're using, meaningful. There's a lot to be learned, even though these are really difficult times. And together we will get through this. So please feel free to reach out when you need us and enjoy the school year.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks,
Take care.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, second grade families. My name is Mrs. Blank, and I am a second grade reading teacher here at Washington Drive. AIS services are for students who are struggling with literacy skills, who fall short on benchmark assessments. You will be notified if your child qualifies for these services. Students come to reading class 3 to 5 times a week for 40-minute sessions, depending on the group and their needs. Students will be socially distanced and will each receive their own supply box with their own supplies. Desks will be sanitized between groups. I use a combination of research-based programs to meet the needs of all my students. These programs include Fontes and Pinnell's Leveled Literacy Intervention, Fundations, and GEODS, and I will get into each of them. A typical lesson, Fontes and Pinnell Leveled Literacy Intervention, consists of an introduction to a book, a picture walk, going through the book, talking about the pictures, and some tricky vocabulary. Students will then read on their own in a quiet whisper voice, and the teacher, myself, will read with them and listen in one-on-one and help them with any specific strategies that they need. At the end, we will all come together and have a discussion about the book, thinking about higher level thinking and everybody taking a turn and really participating, thinking about how the characters change throughout the story from the beginning to the end. We work on a lot of different skills and higher level thinking. We will then work on Fundations. This is our word work component to our guided reading lesson. We will use the letter key sound board. I also have it displayed over here as well. We will make and break words, meaning that we will learn all about the letters, the key sounds, and we will tap and blend each word. So if the word is chin, we will go ch, in, n, chin, and blend it together. We will learn about digraphs, that they make one sound. Ch, ch, I, n, chin. So it's a very hands-on approach to learning, and this will help with decoding and spelling as well. Geodes are very special books that we just received. They're decodable books. So you will see that the words are easy for the student to read because they are all controlled. But these books have higher level thinking ingrained within them. So they have great discussion, great topics. And this actually goes along with foundations in thinking about the decodable words so that they are easy to read and to spell for students when they are then writing about their reading, because we love to write about our reading after we read a book, because reading and writing go together, just like addition and subtraction go together. Students who meet grade level expectations will then graduate the program. So it is an exciting time, and I look forward to working with your child. If you have any questions, please contact me at blankd@harborfieldcsd.org. I look forward to working with you and your child, and I look forward to a very successful year.
And welcome to Washington Drive Primary School, Meet the Teacher Night. My name is Mrs. Stella, and I'm a reading teacher here at Washington Drive Primary School. My job as a reading teacher is to support children, in-person learners who are struggling with some early literacy skills. So the children who may need some extra help will receive a support period from me a few times a week. That would enable them to work at their own pace or practice some of the literacy skills that are happening in the classroom. I will take them through the early process of learning to read and write, which is such a joy to me. I love to see that happen for our youngest learners. This year, for our remote learners, I will be seeing you for a very broad range of literacy lessons: English language arts, reading, and writing. These lessons will encompass all the skills needed for kindergarten. But speaking about kindergarten, I did want to talk to you about the very, very big range of the way children come in September. It is the type of year where children are learning so much and very excited about their learning. Some children come in ready to reading, while others are still working on those letters and sounds. And that's all developmentally appropriate. It's all work that they can do in the classroom is still there for them. So let's just talk a little bit about what literacy looks like for all of these learners in kindergarten. Whether your child is reading, taking off, or still working on those letters and sounds, like I said, those are all fine places to be. We are teaching for every child. We are making sure that the children who are reading are getting the materials they need, and the children who are learning their letters and sounds are getting the materials they need as well. But we all start with our foundations. That is a phonics program that your child will be starting every day in their classroom with their classroom teachers. We are learning there. Maybe you've seen these already. We are learning our letters, upper and lower case, our sounds, and using pictures to help us remember the sounds the letters make. This has been a wonderful program here at Washington Drive. Many other districts use it. It really helps them anchor to the beginning of reading, and it helps the readers move on to the next stage. They'll be working with Echo and Baby Echo to find lots of ways to develop their phonics skills. We'll be teaching eventually beyond letters and sounds, digraphs and vowels, and beginning sounds and ending sounds and syllables. All of those things are incorporated really in a nice package into our foundations lesson. We'll also do guided reading. Guided reading is leveled reading, and we are working on levels that meet your child's needs. So with me, your children will be getting a guided reading book. We will read this in class in small groups. Some of them start out very simple. The pictures are very, very supportive. These books, I'm showing you the black and white one because that is what will come home with your child. Guided reading starts in kindergarten in early December. By mid-December, we're sending home books. These books, just like the library, when they're sent home to your child in a plastic bag, when they come back, they will be quarantined and they will not be used again until the appropriate amount of time has taken place. So you will be getting these books and maybe some color copies as well, depending on your child's reading group with their teacher or myself. They will be getting the books. The job of you at home is to work with this book to have your child read it to you when they take it home. Put it back in the plastic, they return it to me, I quarantine it, and we move on from there. These books are leveled, meaning that the instruction that takes place in the book, the type of words and the type of punctuation and support of the pictures in the books are all appropriate for what your child needs in his literacy instruction. All of these skills work our way through the year and we progress. Writing is never always exactly hand in hand with reading. While we teach it together because they need to learn how to read and write at the same time, sometimes the writing is a little bit more difficult for kindergartners. We start simply by learning what illustrators do. We draw pictures, we label the pictures, we move to simple sentences, beginning, middle, and end. As we progress through the year, the writing will increase. And I know that's something that a lot of parents do question because they're reading well, they're starting to read, but the writing is still not there. That's part of the process in kindergarten. So we'll also teach lots of beautiful books, beautiful books with language and messages that we really want the children to know and understand and feel good about. Develop a real love of literature and reading. That love of reading will transpire to their guided reading and their writing and their phonics. So all of this happens throughout the course of the year. I am very, very excited to be working with your children this year in school and at home to provide them with the level of literacy support that they need to have a very successful kindergarten year. And not only to have success, but to feel successful and to really enjoy reading and learning to love it right from the start. It is an amazing year. It is a year of wonderful growth in their maturity, in their socialization, as well as their ability to learn about print, learn how print works, and learn about the writing process. Please feel free to always email me if you have any questions regarding the instruction taking place for your child. The in-person students who will require some extra support, who will be seeing me for that period, will start mid to late October, where we've given the children plenty of time to acclimate to the classroom and to the concepts that we're teaching. My in-person friends that I've been seeing, it's been such a pleasure already, and I'm so excited to continue working with you and supporting your literacy development. Having your child grow right in front of my eyes is really a gift that I enjoy every year. I can't wait to see you all. I can't wait to meet you more and get to know you. And I really hope that you have a wonderful night. You enjoy meeting your classroom teachers, your special area teachers, your reading teachers, and I hope that you have a wonderful year in kindergarten. Please, again, feel free to reach out. I am always here to support my parents as well as my students. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video, and I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you very, very soon. Thank you.
Hi, parents. I'm Dr. Russo. I am a reading and math teacher, and I am looking so forward to working with your children. I know that they will enjoy being here, and I will try to make it the best for them.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Feely.
Hi,
I'm Mrs. Matisse. Welcome to Meet the Teacher Night here at Washington Drive.
We support the first and second grade teachers and students in reading.
Students who are eligible for AIS services would receive small group reading instruction. The 5 components that are incorporated into each lesson are phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and text comprehension instruction. We teach effective reading and writing strategies and provide support for the students to develop into independent problem solvers.
A typical AIS reading lesson would consist of first, rereading a familiar story to practice fluency and gain comprehension. Second would be word work. This is an opportunity for me to teach the kids how words work and principles and foundations of words. They build words, and to understand that reading and writing go hand in hand. We use magnetic letters to support all types of learners. Third, introduction and reading a new book in every lesson. The students will utilize reading strategies at their instructional level in order to continue to grow as a reader. And finally, writing response to reading. The students will have a collaborative book discussion on the story to gain comprehension and write about the story with an opportunity to make an illustration as well. As they are taught that pictures and writing go hand in hand.
That also promotes skill practice in the writing process. Our goal is accelerated learning for each student. We base our instruction on careful observation and documentation. This is an efficient and scaffolded approach that allows all future instruction to work from the student's strengths.
Some of the tools that you can use at home to support your child is to build a word wall. Often students will use our word walls here at school to write a word, which promotes independence and autonomy. We also play fun word wall games as well. Also, it is beneficial to make word flashcards to practice high frequency sight words daily. But most importantly, put a book in your child's hand every day. Whether it's a book that he or she can read independently or a book that you will read to your child, we just want to foster that desire and love for reading and learning.
This year, we will also be meeting with our remote learners. We will be offering a broad lesson, which includes English language arts, guided reading, and writing. We look forward to working with you all this year. Have a great evening.
Happy reading!
Hello, my name is Ms. Pomerantz. I'm the music teacher at Washington Drive, and I want to tell you a little bit about my program. First, I should tell you that it's my honor and my privilege to be able to teach your children when they come to music each week. And next, I'll tell you that they come to music once a week. So during that short amount of time, it is such an important time for me to be able to instill my love of music and give it right to them. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the things we're doing this year that are different and the basics of what I try to give to the students each year. So this year, the school has bought each child a pair of rhythm sticks that they're going to be keeping and learning the basic elements of music with. The rhythm sticks are going to be theirs. They're not going to be sharing it with anyone, so that's going to make them stay nice and healthy when they're in the music classroom. Second of all, the elements that we always learn, which is tempo and rhythm. We learn the dynamics of loud and soft and fast and slow. The kids are going to be just using the rhythm sticks and they're going to get everything that they need. Unfortunately, the tambourines and the bongos and the maracas and the shaky eggs and the xylophones are going to take a little bit of a break, and hopefully we'll be back on them next year. So at Washington Drive, I also teach them all about the instrument families. So the kids, they are going to be learning how each instrument is made, how the strings or the air vibrates through the instrument, what part of the body is engaged when the instrument is played, and just the basics of the percussion, strings, and the wind families. Then by the time they leave Washington Drive, they should have a good idea about an instrument or two that they would love to play. If there are any problems or questions that you have throughout the year that involve your child and his or her music education, please reach out to me. I'm very accessible through my email, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if I don't know the answer to your question, I will absolutely try to lead you in the right direction. So I'm very, very thankful that we are having a beautiful, robust music program this year in Harbor Fields, and I look forward to being your child's music teacher. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mr. Moresco. I'm going to be your child's art teacher here at Washington Drive. Please enjoy this little presentation to get a look at the art room and see some of the things we'll be creating together this year.
Good evening, families. Welcome to Meet the Teacher Night here at Washington Drive Primary School. We're so excited that you decided to visit with us this evening. My name is Mrs. Costanza.
And hello, my name is Mrs. May. We're the ESL teachers here at Washington Drive Primary School. I'm just going to step away a moment so Mrs. Costanza can tell you a little bit more about herself.
Thank you. Okay. This is me without my mask on. So again, my name is Mrs. Costanza. This is my 20th year teaching ENL here at Washington Drive Primary School. This year, I will be working with kindergarten and first grade classes. In first grade, I will be working with Mrs. Fenter's class. And in kindergarten, I will be working with Mrs. Divers, Mrs. Flood, and Mrs. McCauley and Mrs. Parros' classes. A little bit about me outside of Washington Drive. I'm a married mother of 2. Here's a picture of my family, my husband and my 2 children. I am an avid reader. I love to swim and ride my bike, and I love to go hiking with my family. So that's just a little bit about me. And now I'm going to put my mask back on so that I can invite Mrs. May back onto the screen.
So, hello, again, I'm Mrs. May. This is what I look like without a mask on. This is my 4th year here at Washington Drive Primary School. And this year I'll be working with Mr. Coppola's class in 1st grade, as well as 2nd grade classes. I'll be working with Miss Lupton's class, Mrs. Rivera's class, and also Mrs. Ambrosio and Mrs. Pisano's class. Just a little something about myself. I'm married, so there I wanted to share a picture of me and Mr. May. Some activities I like. I love in the winter to go snowboarding and ice skating. And in the summer, I enjoy swimming as well as running. So right now I'm going to put my mask back on so Mrs. Costanza can join us.
Okay. So a little bit about ENL here at Washington Drive. Every day, Mrs. May and I will be working on a little bit of speaking, listening, reading, and writing in English with the children. Sometimes we will be working with the children in their grade level classrooms, their kindergarten, 1st grade, or 2nd grade rooms, and sometimes we will be bringing small groups of children here to our classroom and working here in our classroom. And Mrs. May in just a moment will take you on a tour and show you our room.
And we do all this learning in fun, interactive ways. So in our classroom, we use the smartboard you see behind me. We also use Chromebooks. We do read alouds with different books, and we just try to make it a fun and interactive experience.
So now Mrs. May will take you on a little tour of the room. It will look a little bit different for 1st grade and 2nd grade than it has in the past.
All right. And while I do this, Mrs. Costanza is going to turn out the lights so that in a moment we're going to share some contact information with you. But you see how the desks, they really look different. They have that clear barrier around them. And they're a little bit more spread out than you probably remember. All right. And then here is our contact information. If you ever need to get a hold of us, please feel free to give a call here at Washington Drive, or you can also email Mrs. Costanza or myself, Mrs. May. All right,
So thank you again for joining us this evening. We look forward to working with you and your children this year.
Have a great
Speech room. Hi, I'm Jen Panisi.
Hi, I'm Liz Albano.
Hi, I'm Allie Ellis. When your children enter the speech room, they have the option of using our hand sanitizer, or they can come on in and wash their hands at our hand washing station, or what we like to call our sink.
Children will sit at tables that have plastic partitions. This is just one example of our tables. This is another workstation over here. And there's another speech and language table over here. And during speech and language therapy, the therapists sometimes will wear a mask that has a clear partition. And other times they may wear a shield during speech and language therapy.
And over here, when your child comes into speech, they will come and take a bag that was made for them with their name, so that they will be the only child using their crayons, markers, scissors, glue sticks. So all of their supplies have been individualized. And just to give you a look around the room, okay, and then over here, And there's our smart board. So if anyone has any questions throughout the school year, here are our email addresses, which is the fastest way to contact us. Obviously, you can always call the school and leave a message. We know this is an unusual year, but we look forward to working with you and your child to make it a productive, fun, and rewarding school year.
We're eager and excited to facilitate your child's speech and language development and be a part of his or her educational team.
Thank you so much for watching.
Hello, welcome to Resource Room at Washington Drive. I am Mrs. McCarthy. I am the Resource Room teacher here at Washington Drive. I welcome you to meet the teacher night. I would love to see you in person. However, this will do this year. Welcome to Resource Room. Here on my board, I have my name and my email. We're just going to start off by saying, please keep in contact throughout the year, and I'll do the same. Any questions, concerns, anything you want me to tell me about your child as the year goes on. Feel free to keep those lines of communication open. My email is right here. After my last name, I have J and then I have a 1. So sometimes that 1 is forgotten and the L jumps back at you. So you can't forget the 1. So welcome. So what is Resource Room? Well, Resource Room is a very special service that we have for our special ed students. They come to me 40 minutes a day, every day, and they come with a group of students either from their class or several classes on the same grade level. This year there's 4 teachers in 2nd grade who have Resource Room students. So I'm taking from 4 different classes. And sometimes our classes are mixed and sometimes they're separated. So what do we do in Resource Room? We focus on your child's IEP goals here in Resource Room. We look at their reading, writing, and math goals. And we also highlight the 2nd grade curriculum. And we see that mostly in math. Really quick, I do have a Google Classroom set up for my remote students, but I also, this morning, I just recently invited all of my students, my in-person students as well. And that Google Classroom will be for us to use in case school does close, but for my virtual students, that will be how you meet with me every day through the computer virtually. So those of you who are here at the building, that Google Classroom, you don't have to worry about it. It's there just in case school closes, and I can connect with everybody that way. For those of my remote students, that is how you're going to meet with me every single day, and I look forward to that. Behavior on Google Meets. Behavior is a big deal in my classroom. We do a lot of work with manipulatives and, like I said, the different subject areas and reading, writing, math. I do provide movement breaks between each of the subject areas, whether it's stretching or some breathing or some fun song and music and dance break. But whether it's on Google Meets or in person, I do reinforce good behavior, good listening, looking at the speaker, responding to when you're spoken to, and always hard work. Just do your best. Even if things are hard, put your best effort into it, and that's what matters. And I'm here to help. For those of my students who are virtual, it's really important to mom and dads to let your student respond to me the best they can without intervention from you. As I'm meeting with students, I do take anecdotal data on, what they know, what they don't know, because that helps, what I'm planning for the next day and the week. There are times I might need your help, when we're doing writing and we're looking over their writing. If you're around, you're more than welcome to help out, or I'll just assist the child in correcting their writing myself. Appropriate behavior during meets for my virtual students is really important. If you can make sure that their toys are not around, that they're focused on what's going on, that would be great. There are going to be times when I assign some independent work because they will be in a group with in-person students as well. So I might have them do some work on their own, and then I'll check in with them. But again, my computer will still be on in case they need to ask me questions or they need anything clarified. Okay. So yeah, appropriate behavior is really important. Parent-teacher conferences. You are going to set up your parent-teacher conference with your child's general ed teacher, and then I will join in. Sometimes there are conflicts, and I will do my best. I'll always call you or email you and see if I can either set up a time before or after your conference with the general ed teacher if I can't make it to that, or I will do my best to make it at that same time of day that you sign up with the general ed teacher. Not only in Resource Room do I do the instruction for the reading, writing, and math. I also will provide your child with some accommodations on their IEP. A lot of our students have testing accommodations that will happen here in the Resource Room setting. Usually I tell the classroom teachers to provide those accommodations the best they can in the large group. For instance, a test, as long as the classroom is quiet and the child's in close proximity to the teacher to ask questions, that they could always start their tests in the classroom. And of course, if they need more time, which most of my Resource Room students do, they can bring their test here with me and finish it up. If tests are read, I would do that here if the teacher cannot do it in the classroom. Another responsibility that I will take care of is your child's annual review meeting. Our annual reviews for our second graders start pretty early. We usually start in February. So our Resource Room students are sometimes scheduled in April, May, sometimes June. I will let you know as soon as I know the date and time. I'll let you know to give you a heads up so you can make, you can change your schedules and be there for your child's meeting. If additional testing is necessary, you will also know, and paperwork will be sent home to sign off on that. So that's that. What kinds of activities do we do here in Resource Room? So Resource Room, as I focus on reading, writing, and math, I'll go over the different areas. So in reading, I will be, their reading teacher as well as their classroom teacher will do reading with them. We will be reading leveled readers. So in class, they will have leveled readers like this. So your child will be benchmarked in the beginning of the year. I benchmark most of our students. So I know what reading level we're starting at. I also give them a sight word assessment, so I know what words they know and what words we need to work on throughout the year. They will have a word deck that will be placed in this bin. We'll do all sorts of activities with their word deck. Those of you who are remote students, you've already received your word deck, and you'll also be receiving leveled readers in a bag that will come home. My in-person students will also go get a bag where your books will go into. Your child is expected to reread the books that we read together here in Resource Room. If you can't do it the first night, no worries. Whenever your child reads the book, either to a sibling, a friend, a parent, a grandparent, just put that book back into the bag, and your child will bring that back to Resource Room and return the books, and I will fill it up with new books that we read. Some of the books are in color, some of the books are black and white. Usually the books that are sent home are the black and white books, but you might get a little bit of both. So that's reading. Really focusing on using our reading strategies when we read. A lot of times when we're stuck with a word, we'll say, do you see any small words in there? Get your mouth ready. Cover up the word endings, and see if we can read the base word, and then add the ending. There's a lot of modeling in reading. We want our students to be smooth readers the best they can, and of course, a big focus is on comprehension, understanding what they read. Okay, so that's for reading. We have our word decks and our leveled readers. Okay, we also have, our students will also have Explode the Code books. This is just a nice, I use this for independent work. It's just a nice review of their vowel sounds, their consonant sounds, CVC words, very simple instructions, circle it, match and write it, and allows them to, while I'm doing reading groups, they would be working on this, or they would be on Raz Kids. I will have Raz Kids accounts that I will let you know about in case you want to use them. I know your teachers will also have Raz Kids accounts, so sometimes it gets a little crazy. They'll be doing Raz Kids here, so you don't have to worry about doing it at home. My remote students, I will make sure that I sign you up and you can use the resource room Raz if you want. But don't get, if your teacher has one and I have one, choose and pick. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I don't want to overwhelm you with that. Math. Math, I do a lot of focus on our Go Math. Part of what I do here in Resource Room is we focus on your math goals, my student math goals, but we also focus on what they're seeing in the classroom, because every day is a different lesson. So for math, I have a Go Math. I do this for every chapter. I have a Go Math Reteach Concept Review packet. And really what I do for the math chapters is I look at the math chapter and say, okay, what are the important skills in this chapter? If you know anything about Go Math, every day is like a new strategy or a new skill. And sometimes instead of focusing on that new strategy and skill, I just want to focus on the basics. What is it that we want my students to know that they will need in future chapters, or they'll need in third grade? So sometimes I skip a page, or I say, that's just a review of what we did yesterday. Let's move on to this. I'm not always on the same lesson as the classroom teacher. Sometimes I'm ahead of the classroom teacher. Sometimes I'm behind the classroom teacher. I really don't, want to focus on that so much. It's just really highlighting the important skills of each chapter and then making sure they're prepared for their math test. A lot of times I like to get this home to you before the math test. Sometimes it comes after, but we try to get this done and highlight all the important skills so they, they're reviewed and reinforced here in the resource room setting. If there's ever a lesson that your child is really struggling on at home, you can always email me or just let me know of a skill that they're really struggling with. I would appreciate that. We'll work on it. Okay, so that's math. I'll also be focusing a lot on their math goals. A big part of Resource Room is teaching my students strategies. While Go Math might teach our students 12 different strategies, how to add and subtract, I might just focus on 3. And that really helps our students pick what's best for them. Sometimes we'll practice them, here in the classroom or remotely. And I'll say, that one's a little too tricky, or, this one's confusing. Why don't we try this one? And then of course I let the child pick the strategy that's best for them. Sometimes the strategies that I introduce are not the strategies that Go Math introduces, but our students are, and we use them. And I will share them with you, of course, so you can reinforce that at home as well. So I'll keep you updated. Some of the strategies are touch points, to add. We do a lot with word problem solving. With subtraction, we usually take circle the smaller number, put it in our head and count up. There's a whole bunch of different strategies. I have a lot of song and mnemonic strategies with math concepts that your child will be introduced in the resource room setting. So that's math. And then writing. Your child will have a writing notebook here in the resource room setting. Let me show it to you. So it's a red notebook that your child, either at home if they're remote or here at school, I encourage them to decorate it with their family picture or other pictures. And in this notebook, they will be doing their writing. We do writing pretty often in Resource Room. We always put our date, and sometimes we create webs. Sometimes we don't create webs. We talk, whether virtually or in person, about our ideas, and then we get them down on paper. It's really important. I encourage my students to do their best with their spelling. We really, I use the stretching out of the word. As a rubber band, I usually go like this, let's stretch out the word, beginning, middle, and end. And whatever they hear, they write. And then we revisit the writing, and I say, oh, that word is tricky. You don't hear the sound, or we gotta hear this. And then that's where the instruction comes. We will be working on spelling of our sight words, so the words that are in our word deck. I will be providing your child with some activities to also not only read those words, but also spell those words, because a lot of them are trick words and words that they will see a lot in their books and in their content work. So writing is an important part of what we do here. And as the year goes on, I'm going to encourage students to write more sentences and so forth. Sentence development is really important, making sure they have capital letters, spacing, punctuation. Does their sentence make sense? Revisiting their writing. There's a whole bunch of skills that go with writing that we will focus on here in the resource room. If a teacher in the classroom that has a writing assignment that's very difficult or tricky for their child, or maybe it's taking a very long time, it is common for the child, your child, to bring a writing assignment to resource room, and I will support them accordingly. Okay, trying to think if I have everything else. So that's reading, writing, and math. I think that the most important thing is just know that I'm here for your child. This is my 18th year teaching. I've been teaching resource room for quite a bit. I've kind of taught as a special ed teacher in all different classes, from special classes to integrated, and now resource room. A little bit, I probably should have started with this, a little bit about myself is I've taught at Thomas J. Leahy as well as Washington Drive. I'm a mother of myself with 2 children. I have a child who's in middle school and a child who just started 1st grade. So I have a big gap between them, and they keep me busy. I am so excited to be working with your child this year. Even though it's a unique year, we will get through it, and we will have fun, and we will learn. So just please keep in contact with me. My email is right here. And if you have any further questions about resource room, please let me know. I hope I answered all your questions. All right, I look forward to a great year. Be well, stay safe, and bye.
Hello, my name is Mr. Lane. Welcome to Meet the Teacher Night. You might be wondering, who is this Mr. Lane person? Well, I've been in Harbor Field for about 25 years, the first 12 or so as a 3rd and 4th grade classroom teacher, and the balance as a remedial math teacher in every grade from 1st to 5th grade each year. I've also tutored in kindergarten and all the way up through 12th grade honors math. So I have a pretty good range in what I've seen in math, and when I work with your children, I'll know what they should know, what they need to know this year, and what they'll have to know in the future through Washington Drive, Leahy, Oldfield Middle School, and the high school. I believe learning should be fun. I believe that children should be able to play with the problems and to understand them, and that that's the best way to learn. I won't be teaching them to memorize things all the time as the number one way to understand math. I will teach them to understand through experiencing math. We will draw pictures, we will watch videos, we might even make videos. We will draw things on the computer screen, and we'll do everything we can in terms of real life examples and even acting things out if possible, sometimes with little stuffed animals. Anything to get the kids to understand what's going on in the problem. I can teach anybody to get an answer right. That's not really important. What's important is understanding what the problem is asking, trying to figure out a solution strategy that is efficient and that is elegant, and then solving the problem accurately. So while knowing adding and subtracting is important, it's not math. That's part of math. In terms of what we're going to be doing each day, I'll work with your children just like in school, 5 days a week, 40 minutes at a time. One thing I can promise you is that I'm going to learn as much as I can about all the technology involved and all the different ways to teach using this interface so that I can be a responsible and effective teacher for your children. So by the end of the year, I hope to have your children all caught up with everything that might have been missed last year and all this year's curriculum. And hopefully we'll do some in-depth projects as well. I do try to individualize as much as I can, so I'd like to meet with you each sometime between now and Halloween, let's say, during my office hours, which are 2:45 to 3:25 each day of the week. That's the last period of the day. I'm available and I have that in my schedule for you so that we can meet and talk about things. I also have first period available sometimes. To meet with me, please send me an email and an idea of a day and a time, and we'll make a connection, and you can tell me everything you want to tell me. You can ask me questions. You can ask me about the test coming up, how your child is doing, what you can do at home, what we're doing in class, anything you want. That's your time. And I'd like to fill up those slots, getting to know you better and maybe having you tell me more about your child. Thank you for coming to Meet the Teacher Night. Please make sure that you check the Google Classroom often and your emails often, because that's how I'll be contacting you. Have a great night.